Anyone who's on any type of social media knows who these people are. You'll find them on Facebook, Twitter, any type of message board, discussion boards. You'll find them on YouTube. You'll find them on Quora. You'll find them any place where there are discussions online. They are trolls. Just who are these trolls? What is a troll? Well, the best definition for a troll is an obnoxious person. Simply put, they are people who disrupt the flow of conversation. They will go on to discussions and talk. Sometimes it's rather benign. They'll just say stupid or dumb things. That's okay, which is okay, I guess. I mean, you just ignore that sort of thing. But sometimes they will get into your personal space and they will say certain things about the person posting. They will do personal attacks. A troll refuses to use logic to argue his or her points. That's the hallmark of a troll. That's how you identify one. What a troll does instead is engage in ad hominem attacks. The troll, and in some cases, the troll will use racism, homophobia, xenophobia, lookism, fat shaming, or hate of any other kind. Mostly, the troll will use obscenities towards his or her opponents. The troll will cloud issues with personal attacks. Sometimes they will just make up things based on what they perceive as who you are. They will look at a profile and say, well, you look like somebody who could really stand to lose weight, or you look like somebody who engages in certain types of criminal behavior or whatever. And what is worse, they will often attack family, friends, and other people. There's really no bounds to their behavior in many cases. One thing that they certainly cannot do is they cannot use logic. The logic that they use is poorly constructed in such attacks. Often, the purpose of these attacks is simple. It's to provoke or trigger you, the target. The troll is often intellectually lazy, not necessarily unintelligent, although many are. But what they will do is that they will not employ proper debating procedures. They are usually they are often ill-educated. They are not trained to debate. And one thing that they all have in common is that they lack maturity. And they will often lack the temper to really follow a discussion. You will try to argue points to them, and they will say, you are an idiot, you are a fool, you are this, that, and the other, and then they'll just go into these tirades. So what do you do about a troll? You encounter a troll, they attack you online. Sometimes it's just totally unprovoked. Sometimes you're just there. It's like you just express an opinion. Sometimes you don't even have to. They'll just see your profile and they just don't like you for some reason. So what do you do about such people? Well, first, don't engage them. Don't stoop to their level. Don't lose your temperament. This is one mistake that I have made in the past. I have engaged other people, and sometimes I was the one that got in trouble because I couldn't take that advice. But what you do instead is you ignore them, and if the attacks continue, or if they are particularly bad attacks, if they're really being rude, offensive, or in some cases, if they're engaging in things like stalkerish behavior, then that's when you can report such people and you can block their accounts. Now, reporting has different effects. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. One of my major complaints about a lot of platforms, particularly Facebook, is that they don't really follow up on your reports, but you always have that option to block them. You don't, in other words, so that they don't come back and start giving you a hard time. Now, I know that it may be satisfying to, I'll put this in quotes, own an opponent, but one thing I found about arguing on the internet, particularly with people you don't know, is it really doesn't achieve very much. I'm distinguishing this from discussion. Discussing issues is perfectly legitimate. You might find someone who doesn't agree with you. You can talk to them in a mature and rational way. Maybe you'll learn something, maybe they will. Maybe someone following the discussion will learn something. But when it starts turning into into one of these mudslinging contests, then it really achieves absolutely nothing. No one's going to learn anything. You're not going to make the world a better place by arguing with fools. Arguing with dirtbags, you're not enriching your own life. You're just all you're doing is you're satisfying your own ego. You might even win the argument. You might get the last word in. But so what? What did you achieve? Nothing. And trust me when I say this, your life is going to be a lot easier if you are not obsessed with arguing with other people online. It's just not worth the time. It's not worth my time. I don't have time for that kind of nonsense. Now, it's a different thing about mature and intelligent debate. If someone disagrees with me, I'll just say, oh, okay, well, why do you disagree? And if they can present a valid argument, then I'm okay with that. People can learn from discussions, but when you encounter trolls, that's a whole different story. So the way I always deal with trolls is very simple. I just tell them I don't feed trolls, and I leave it at that. I just say I don't feed trolls, goodbye, or I don't feed trolls, on your way now. And any further conversation that they try to engage with me, I just ignore. Maybe I'll just block that person. Nothing wrong with doing that. And just let that person find someone else to argue with. I don't argue with children. It's like, what's the point in getting in these childish arguments? We're not in 6th grade. We're not encountering grade school or high school bullies. This is, I'm an adult. I don't need this kind of nonsense in my life. Anyway, I hope we all learned something, and until next time, namaste.